Jaden's coming at us with a collaboration with a New Balance line, and I just absolutely love it for many, many reasons. Sorry for all you guys out there who are really into your New Balance and who are into Jaden and all that kind of stuff. For me, I just love it because a New Balance sneaker finally is coming with advance warning, so we can talk about it prior to the drop. I have a tough time finding New Balance sneaker information before the drop date, which drives me nuts, but here we are. I'm shooting this video on Sunday the 16th, and it'll probably be the video for Tuesday the 18th, and the sneaker itself drops on like the 28th, I think it is, of August. So I've got myself 10 days prior to the drop, and that's amazing for me. I'm thrilled to be able to do that because I never get that kind of chance with the New Balance line. Nike and Adidas and stuff like that give you plenty of warning, but New Balance, very rare. So glad to have that. Thank you very much, Jaden. Thank you very much, New Balance. I'm glad to be able to come into this and tell you guys about the sneaker and look back to the OG drop from just a couple of weeks ago, which I totally missed. Didn't see it all on the drops, drop calendars, social media, websites, anything like that. Totally missed out on that one, but glad to catch this one coming down the line, and then we can reflect back on that previous OG one, as well as having a look at the details on this one today. It's a very different sneaker in terms of colorway, very the same in terms of silhouette, and we'll get that comparison going as well. So without further ado, let's get into this New Balance Vision RACER Jaden Smith sneaker. This is the Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel, Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel des. Mainichi Upsuru no de, Mainichi Mita Kudasai. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And today we're looking at this Jaden Smith collaboration with the New Balance line, the Vision RACER they're calling this. I think it's the second colorway of this line. The first one being this one here. I'm not sure if it's blue or purple. I think it actually is blue, but they lit it in a certain way for some of the photographs to make it look purple. So we'll go with the blue. And it's important to look at that because there's actually some stuff on there that's repeated on this shoe, and we don't have good enough pictures to see it. So we'll have to look back to the original one to see those details, and then look forward to this upcoming one to see how they've changed and what they've done to update the shoe a little bit, take in a different direction, because the original one was very colourful, lots of little hits of details on there, where they stripped all that back to a very sort of neutral sneaker for this one. So we'll get into that in a couple of minutes time, but first I want to talk about Jaden himself. Apparently, I mean, I don't know much about him at all. I have seen a couple of the films he's been in. I've seen a couple of interviews from British TV, the Graham Norton show, if you know anything about that. I've seen him on that. But from what I understand is he's tried to sort of build his own brand away from his dad, very famous dad, and he's tried to sort of stand alone in that. But the thing is, like, he started off by kind of tagging up with his dad twice in two really big films, to be honest. And I think maybe, did Will Smith get a nomination for an Oscar for the first one, The Pursuit of Happiness? I think he might have. So two really big films that he was co-starring really with his dad in. And then also when he appeared on things like I said, the Graham Norton show and stuff like that, he appeared with his dad as well. So his early career was already tied to his dad's sort of, stardom. But then, as he got older, got into his teens, he wanted to go alone and sort of do it by himself without doing it with his dad's support, which I kind of respect. I don't know how it's gone for him. I don't know much about Jaden Smith and what he's done in recent years. I checked out, his history and his biography before shooting this video, and it seems he's doing really well for himself. He's got 3 solo albums under his belt, I think. His solo appearances in films, starring in films, also TV and stuff like that. It said on Wikipedia that he's also an inventor. Don't know what that's all about. If you know what Jaden does to what he invents, for sure, please let me know in the comments down below, because I was kind of lost on that one. But it's I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and respect the fact that he's trying to stand on his own 2 feet. It must be very hard to do when you're in the shadow of a giant of the movies and the entertainment world, music, television, and movies. But if he can tread the path on his own and make his own way into the world, then good on him, and I hope it turns out really well. And his dad has gone on to collaborations with the sneaker world, especially back in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air days. There was a particular Jordan 5, and it's the 30th anniversary of the Jordan 5s this year, and that whole Bel-Air tie-up is coming back in a number of ways actually this year. And then Jared going down the New Balance side of things and doing a collaboration there. It provides again a bit of separation from him and his dad. Now, first things first, let's take a look at that blue sneaker. I probably put it up already, but let's bring it back. and look at it again. Obviously, the main feature on that is the massive chunky midsole, and that's the dominating feature of the shoe. The upper itself is more in line with I think it's a New Balance 1300, and then they've sort of melded that onto this massive chunky midsole unit on there, which is, it is the sort of times we are in, these chunky shoes. If you think of Balenciaga and Yeezy 700s, but it might be a wave that's crashing, and it's the large sort of oversized shoes might be leaving us now, and this might be the last sort of chance to catch that wave before we move into something new in the sneaker world, which I'll be expecting next year sometime. But yeah, it's a very big shoe, and there's a couple of things I want to show you on it, like I said, that are difficult to see on today's shoe. So let's zoom in on that piping around the edge, and hopefully I find the right spot to zoom in on, so you can see that it's a double bracket around the word vision, not plural, not visions, and that's repeated on today's shoe in a different way, but so bear that in mind. It's just that you can't read the word vision on today's shoe. And then the outsole of the OG guys look like this, and I haven't seen any pictures of the outsole of today's shoe either, but I'm sure it'll be very similar, that translucent look through again to the double bracketed vision on deep within the outsole, or in the midsole probably, through that translucent outsole. So those two particular features, let's take a look at today's shoe, and you can see how different it is from the previous one, the blue one. And particularly what we're talking about is it being an all white sort of shoe. It's basically a white base shoe with a couple of hits of grey, very light grey in there, and then some blue sort of branding and detailing just to give it a bit of definition. And if we zoom in on that sort of piping that runs around the middle of the shoe, it's in yellow, which is a great sort of feature as far as I'm concerned. Yellow and I think black. It might be a dark grey. I like that on there because it gives a bit of definition to what is quite a plain shoe. But you can see as I've zoomed in on here, it's very difficult, or in fact even impossible, to read the word vision on the side of these guys. So it's good to have had that OG one there, so you can kind of put the two images together in your mind and work out what that really looks like. And then what we'll do is we'll go down to the toe a little bit, and this is the closest I've gotten to seeing the outsole, and it's pretty far away. But you can see just that outline of the midsole sort of around the edge, and then the sort of little hint of a translucent outsole on there. So we can assume that A, yes, it's a translucent outsole again, and B, it's probably got that double bracketed vision on the middle of the outsole, right through that translucent and into the midsole on there as well. Okay, back out to looking at the shoe itself. A great looking shoe, although it's lost some of that kind of character that the OGs had. The OGs especially had a lot of speckling going on in there, which kind of gave it a little bit of character in these big places. If you look at the midsole, for example, huge chunks along the midsole, very, very large sort of lateral side to the shoe, and if you splatter that up a little bit, it gives it a bit of definition. But when you leave it mostly bare as it is here, I don't think it's perfectly bare, but it's mostly bare. It's a very large blank canvas that they're leaving us with there. And then if we go up from that onto the side of the shoe, you can see the suede hits on there on top of this. Now there is a lot of recycling going on. I think it's 60% of the shoe is recycled. Hopefully I've got that number right. And that's a really big feature in shoes these days. We've got the Space Hippies from the Nike line. You've also got the Vapor Max 2020s with a large amount of recycling going on in there. My video that I did 2 days ago was the recycled canvas pack, which is 6 different shoes from the Nike line with recycled uppers in canvas, and then of course Adidas with their 100% future craft, 100% recyclable shoes. So it's a big thing in sneakers right now, is to get that sustainability, and that's also been brought forward here. Apparently vegan friendly. Now I think I'm right in saying that Jaden was vegan for a while. He was vegetarian and he went to vegan, but it didn't work out very well for him, not very healthy, and so he came back to being vegetarian. And I think I read that these guys are vegan friendly, so I hope that means that, you know, they've only used materials that fell off of trees rather than cutting trees down to make them, or something along those lines. Who knows what vegan friendly means? Or maybe it's vegan neutral, like it's carbon neutral, like maybe the shoe itself isn't you know, taking that much care of the environment, but then something else, they offset it so that those two balance out to zero or something like that. But anyway, you know, as part of Jaden's sort of take on things, he's got a very big kind of personality or identity with you know, vegetarianism, taking care of the planet, sustainability and things like that, and he's built that into this shoe as well. I think it's a really great looking shoe actually. I you know, sometimes I'm not a huge fan of the oversized shoes, and I've said many times that I don't really like the Yeezy 700s or the 500s for that matter, but this could have gone wrong, but it kind of didn't. I kind of like it to look at. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't wear it. you know, but I kind of like it to look at. It's a pretty clean looking shoe, and turning it now into those simple colours and taking it away from that sort of brash colours of the OG, I think it's a good step and a good step forward. So it's a nice shoe. Like I said, I think it's coming up on August 28th, which will be 10 days after this video drops, 12 days after I made it. So happy for New Balance to give me enough time to do that. Thank you very much, guys. Now speaking of time, it's time for me to chip off midnight already on Sunday night as I'm shooting this video, and I've got work tomorrow, so I'm going to chip off. Thank you guys for checking out the content, but I'm going to remind you that I do this every single day, and that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.